you could put this one right here in the left ear and this one right there in the right ear, and that'll sound crazy. She works hard for the money, so hard for you, honey. She works hard for the money, you better treat her right.
Well, guys, welcome to the Swan Time. Today, my guest is Marc Anthony Richi. What's up? A.K.A. Marc Comedy.
MAR.comedy, yeah.
Yeah, MAR.comedy.
MAR.comedy, that's, Marc Comedy, sure.
Well, thanks for inviting me into your lovely home, dude.
Sure.
I fucking love it in here.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a whole vibe here, man. Musician, right?
Truly.
You did music before you got into comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like not worth it at all. Especially if you're like in a serious relationship where you like if you're single and you're in your 20s, like totally do it.
Yeah.
But out of your 20s and not single, it's like, what's the point? Like
After a while, right?
Yeah, after a while, it's like lugging the equipment around for like no money.
Yes.
And like just bullshit drama with bandmates and stuff. It's just
Well,
like,
and
yeah.
I think also, I mean, you're big 9 Inch Nails fan, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like, do you think like that genre of music is also like hard to break through in? And so it's like, and again, where everybody's like, it's drama. I mean, the music is very, very emotional,
Sure.
you know, deep and
Yeah.
so that comes through in the people that are partaking in that, right? So
Well, I think it's probably easier now so like back in our day, right, when we were younger, it was like if you had backing tracks, you were Milli Vanilli, right? So if you had backing tracks, it was like, how dare you like try to fool us with this drum machine?
Yeah.
And now it's just like accepted where it could be like one person on stage singing, maybe with a guitar. And even like a goth band, it's totally acceptable these days.
That's true.
And so, playing music on your own could be something, but I just don't have the drive for it. Just too much hyper focus on comedy. Yeah.
it's taking up your bandwidth.
Right.
Bandwidth. Damn it. Yeah, no, it is, because I mean it's a whole animal in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, with music and as well as playing instruments. I mean, you can kind of hide behind the instrument a bit as well, versus like comedy. I mean, and you incorporate your guitar in it too, but it's like it's really forefront. It's all on you.
Right. When you bomb as a musician, you could be like, well, they just don't get it. Mm-hmm. But when you bomb like as a comedian, it's just like, I'm not funny right now. Like there's no argument between it. Like maybe you think you're funny, but if the audience isn't laughing, that is the facts. They're not laughing.
That's true.
Is the mic on? Yes. Do better. Yeah.
Do better comment.
Yeah.
Well, I do need to adjust this, so I'm
Sure.
gonna try and cut this out because this is gonna get loud for the listeners. Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
Oh man, the audio gods are on my side today.
Yeah. It's good karma.
There it goes. Because I just noticed I was gonna go down, and eventually it's gonna look like I was talking into my
Yourself.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself. I can almost reach you.
Get it together.
I'm so close.
Get it together, buddy.
Stop wasting my time.
She's in the bedroom ready for us.
Come on, wake up. Wake up.
Have you ever had to slap yourself before a show? Not before that, right?
Oh.
Like for a show.
We talking
it's
about
like,
here?
yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Not necessarily like a physical slap. I mean, I just pre-workout. I scoop the pre-workout like 5 minutes before we're like going.
The woodshed pre-workout, or are we talking about pre-workout?
Like pre-workout, like real, like just like red line or whatever it's called. You just like dry scoop it.
Yeah. Oh.
And then just like chug some water with it.
Oh shit.
And then it's just like 5 minutes in, you're just like, fucking let's go. Fucking comedy time. Bust my nunchucks out.
Yeah.
Ready to laugh, motherfuckers. Yeah.
No, I was thinking that right now. Actually, I was thinking in the bathroom that you come off to me as a very confident individual, man. I know, and that's why I said you come off to me, because I know I've mentioned that to plenty of people, and people mention that to me, and I'm just like, dude, no.
Oh
like, yeah. So
you're a charismatic fella.
Yeah. So
I didn't know you had any self-doubt. Period. I mean, I'm glad to know you do. Cause it's
man, there's tons, and again, when you're up on stage and people aren't laughing, it's just like, there it is. I knew this was gonna happen. But yeah, I was thinking that in the bathroom right now. I was like, Marc is just so confident. confident. And so as I said, like, do you slap yourself before a performance? And I'm like, well, no, you've done martial arts as well. So you've practiced. Did you compete as well? And like
yeah, I mean, it wasn't
fights?
like MMA. It was just like, you know, what they call point sparring.
Yeah.
And the
for
thing
sure.
about it was like, it was a lot like a comedy competition where like, if you didn't have the school's support behind you, even if you were making the hits, you wouldn't get the points.
Whoa.
So like eventually it like became a thing where I had to like literally kick him right in the face and make him bleed for like the other like competitors or the judges to like be like, oh, he got him.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where like I had to like beat the crap out of people just to get a point, when it would be like I'd hit him but they would pretend not to see it. But if you kick them like out of the ring into chairs, there's no way to deny like that guy just got his ass kicked out of the ring.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to, like, that's the thing about martial arts. It's like traditional. It teaches you not to be violent. So it was like, I don't want to be violent.
Wow.
And like win due to the violence. So it
Bringing
was
it
kind of
out
the
of you.
exact opposite of MMA. Yeah, it was pissing me off because it's like, dude, I got a clean hit.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys count that? And then it would be like, okay, if I kick him in the face and make a bleed, then they count that. But now there's like dudes bleeding that shouldn't have to bleed just to me to get a point. So yeah, it wasn't worth it.
And well, it's not on you, man. It's on them, right? He's like, you're making me do this.
Right. Yeah. Maybe if you people weren't cheating, your students wouldn't be bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, but that was a long time ago. Mainly I did like open hand and nunchuck performance. So it was like, they don't call it performance, but like
Exhibition.
Kata exhibition. Yeah. So you're just like basically doing your thing in front of judges and they judge you. And I was like a grand champion at open hand and at nunchucks.
Oh, shit, dude.
But sparring, I never got.
What's open hand?
Open hand's like just doing your kata, your
Gotcha.
form, like without any weapon. So yeah, multiple time grand champion.
Was it all in the state or
yeah, it was all in the
nationals?
state.
Gotcha.
It wasn't like anything gigantic. It was just local tournaments. But
still, dude.
yeah, it's a lot of self-discipline to get all that done. And I was at the gym just today, like hitting the bag.
Yeah. Ooh.
It was fun, but like I was doing like some kicks that I used to do, and you feel it so heavy. Like if you're not, it's just like working out. Like you stop working out.
Oh yeah.
You try to pump, then you're like, oh man, this is only like 30 pounds. Like what the hell? But if you're like consistent, you can get to like 150 eventually and be like, okay, this is difficult, but I can do it. So same with that. I want to do that, like hitting the bag like at least twice a week.
Good, man.
And then try to get it like 5 days a week. And I used to be like 7 days a week when I was training all the time.
Yeah.
And like I was so happy when I was doing that because it's all cardio. So it's like you're just like happy from all the cardio, like the endorphins from it.
Yeah.
But you take a day off, you're like miserable. So it's like the endorphins.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm flexible. And so like I've always stretched and lately I haven't been stretching as much as I used to. And your body is like, ew, dude, like what are we doing? Like I feel miserable because I'm not pushing myself in that sense. But yeah, I haven't worked out really hard in like the last 2 weeks. I've been recovering from just a tight back and all that. And I did like a 25-minute workout the other day and I'm still sore from that. I'm like, wow, dude, like I was doing that like all the time and not sore. But also on the contrary, on the counter side of that, like I was doing a lot of upper body and I noticed like, man, my push-ups, I would get tired like at 8 or 10 in. And then since I've taken a break and I can bang out like 20 push-ups like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you have to give your body.
Okay.
Not right now. But it's like your body's like, let me recover a bit and I'm still as strong, you know, but it's you'll be sore again, you know. That's awesome, man, that you're hitting the bag a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm skipping leg day and just kicking the bag instead. Hopefully it like doesn't. You don't want to be the chicken legs, right? But
no, you don't.
Yeah,
you want to be balanced.
Truly. Hopefully. Yeah.
Well, you having to give kids bloody noses, man, is my rule of like just becoming undeniable. And you know, we were, before we got going, you were talking about like people judging comedy.
Oh yeah.
And like that's like a weird like place to be in, right? Where you're judging. I can understand maybe judging a roast, or I don't know, man. Maybe even like the Kill Tony, like 1 minute. Come in and give me a 1 minute. Okay, but like an actual set, that's really hard to judge.
Right.
You know, it's because comedy is so subjective.
Right.
But you having to kick somebody in the face is like you becoming undeniable, right?
Right.
And I think that's where we are trying to elevate to.
Yeah, it's a good metaphor for sure. Yeah. Because even if you don't like the comedy, you have to, like Jonathan Gerber, right? Jonathan Gerber is like insanely funny
Yeah.
And even if you hate what he's saying, you can't deny the fact that it's like really well written.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, even if you're like a feminist that hates everything he's saying, like everything he's saying is very funny, and like you may find yourself laughing even if you disagree with what he's saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of stuff that I laugh at, I disagree at.
Right.
But it's just the fact that like, wow, they're saying something that you're really not supposed to, but you can tell when someone's up there and they have like this just dark, everybody wants to go dark, right? Or they want to be risky or whatever.
Right. Edgelording.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to have it structured in a way where somebody's like, okay, he gave it a little bit more thought, you know, than just like, oh, hey, this is this borderline racist thing that I want to say right now.
Right. I'm tired of white dudes asking to say the N-word.
Dude, that's been going around
it's so like, I mean,
later.
I don't know if it's just Arizona, but it's like, and like nobody wants to say anything to them because they're worried like they're going to pull out a gun if you tell them no. But I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
No, like, you know, I don't know.
Well, I got a gun too, so I'll tell them no for you.
Right. I don't mind a gunshot apparently, but yeah, just like no, shoot.
You'll have to kick him into some chairs, man.
Right, kick him into some chairs, make his face bleed a little. Yeah, man.
I fortunately, I guess I haven't witnessed it in person, but I've been hearing it a lot lately. You know, people making their posts on Facebook about how it's just becoming like more of a thing lately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
it doesn't help though. Yeah, but it also doesn't help that there's a couple of comics. I'm not gonna name them that about it, but they do have they also draw the line in trying to get the audience to maybe say like a gotcha thing. You know, I've seen a couple of those, so it doesn't help that they see that and then it's like just don't do it, guys. All right, come on. There's plenty of other shit to talk about.
New subject, eh? This isn't a fun subject at all.
Yeah, it's like bringing up a threesome to your girlfriend, all right? You brought it up. She said...
Hey, this is Tom. We good?
Yeah, there you go. That one she might be into.
No. She wouldn't be. Yeah. I don't know, man. What other subjects we talking about?
On what?
I don't know. Just anything.
Oh, wherever you want to go with it, man. This is me. This is us. We're just having a conversation, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, can I get real sad with it?
I would love for you to get sad.
Cool.
I think that brings people closer together.
So I was like, yo, I got to turn my volume down on my phone in case my mom calls me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
right now.
That's not gonna fucking happen. Yeah, like earlier, like when we were about to like, because it's like moms are always calling when they're alive.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like, she's gonna call me, and it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna like ruin the podcast. And it's like, oh no, she's not gonna call you. She's dead. But it was kind of a nice feeling to remember that feeling of like not wanting to talk to my mom, because I want to talk to my mom, obviously.
Yes.
But like we take for granted even the fact that there's a time in our life where we don't want to talk to our parents, and when they're gone, it's like all we fucking want.
Yeah.
Your dad passed, right?
Yeah,
so
my dad passed, and
like,
I mean we didn't talk a lot. I mean he lived in Mexico for like the last bit of his life, and we weren't really that close to begin with. He was super old school, but yeah, man, it's like, man, I wish I could just pick up the phone, or have him call me, Yeah, it's because how long has it been since your mom's passed?
It's January, so like 7 months now.
Yeah, 7 months.
8 months. 8 months. Yeah, 8 months.
Yeah, so there's still that adjustment window for sure, and that's, I mean, you were like, interrupt our podcast, but at this point, man, if that call came through, you would be like, we wouldn't.
Got to take this. Yeah,
we put her on, and I would ask her for a rematch because she kicked my ass in chess that one time at the Whining Pig.
Dude, I miss playing chess with her more than anything, bro. It's fucking sad. Like, she'd said that like when she played chess, the whole world would disappear. So like all life's problems would disappear when her and I would play chess.
Yeah.
And, she was like, I was better than her at chess, and I'd have to explain to her that she won. She wouldn't like ever really go like checkmate and be like confident about it. It'd be like, okay, mom, you got me in checkmate there. She's like, I did. Oh my god, I won. She'd be like lotto winner excited.
Yeah,
we'd just be in a coffee shop and be like, yo, calm down, calm the fuck down, mom. There's people in here watching us, and like. But then when we like be playing and I'd like take her queen, she'd be like, you motherfucker. Like just all loud. I'd be like, yo, calm down, dude. So, no, but I miss that. Like, I think that and then like her homemade spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah, those two things are like,
I mean,
about to cry thinking about it. Like, dude, I miss her so much.
Have you tried to make it?
Whitney makes really good spaghetti. We got the spaghetti that, it's angel hair pasta.
Yeah.
And that's the pasta and then we got the Prego sauce.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what my mom would use.
Richie,
yeah.
you Italian?
Yeah.
No, gotcha.
Yeah, so we eat it with the spoon and the fork, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The Italian way, yeah. But no, man, just Whitney makes it really well. It's like I could kind of. It's not the same though.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But it's chest and spaghetti, man. That's like. Yeah, my eyes are watering up as I talk about it. Yeah.
Well, and food. I mean, dude, if you guys could work at like nailing that recipe, and then I can picture like the moment, like you're like, wow, like this is as close as I can get to it. Like that would be such a crazy good feeling to experiencing it, because you know, food, tasting food, eating food is attached to smell, which is one of the greatest, you know, markers for like for memory, and bringing you right back to a place is the smell. So like I can imagine that it would just bang. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Just the fucking under Ratatouille.
I've yet to really watch that movie, man. I know I need to. I know everybody says what.
Do you want a spoiler alert on that or no?
No, go for it. Go. I mean,
go for it. Okay, so like at the end, there's like this not a health inspector, but like a food reviewer, like a really big deal food reviewer, and he's like a total dick, and like usually it's like he makes or breaks the restaurant. And the book that the rat's been reading was his mother's recipe book. Oh shit! So he like eats I can't remember what dish it was, right? But he eats it, and it like goes back to him like as a farm boy, like as a kid. Yeah. Like, and he's just like, I'm about to cry over Ratatouille right now. I love it. He's like just like, fuck. Then he goes right back to his childhood. Yeah, it's a pretty good scene.
I gotta watch that, man. I gotta watch it. I know people have brought it up, and I want to feel what this is, and honestly, we're gonna feel it on different spectrums, because you know, that is attached to your mom, and you've mentioned it in your comedy that, you know, she was a hypochondriac. Yeah. So like your whole adulthood, you were like technically preparing for her death, or she was always like
11.
Oh, wow.
Dude, yeah, she was like yelling at me about her death coming up soon, like since I was 11.
Yeah.
And like what sucked is like a lot of it was mixed with truth, because she had certain like illnesses that were legitimate, but she'd get better each time. But she'd make like the biggest life and death situation of it, and then sometimes it'd be a total false alarm. So when she was like actually at death's door, it was so hard to like believe that this was the end. Like I thought she had another 10 years at least. Yeah. And it was like 10 to 20 years. I'm like, oh man, I got to put up with her saying she's dying for another 10 to 20 years. And like, no man, this is the last year you got to put up with it. So yeah, that
so I mean, by 2023, did you guys have an idea that like within like the next like year and a half or so, or was when January came around, was that pretty like instant?
So like in May of 2023, she had like her first heart attack. And to me, it was like, okay, well, she's getting older and these things happen. Yeah. You know, and it wasn't like, oh my God, she's going to die. And then she had like a surgery she had to have, and then like another heart attack. And then it was kind of like she was bedridden and had to have all her teeth removed. And just like, it just got more and more and more and more. She had to have heart surgery, you know, like repair the valve, because she was like flooding with blood. And it's like, you know, at the end of it, it was like internal bleeding. She couldn't eat anything because like due to the internal bleeding, she couldn't keep anything down. So it was just like,
was she also vomiting blood?
Yeah, so it was like that. And then she was like drinking as well. So it was like, it sucked that like it was like, yo, like you got to start taking care of your health. But it was like, look, I'm dying. And you know, it's like, but you always say you're dying. Like, you're dying because you're not taking care of your health. And it's like, so it's kind of that thing where it was like, maybe she would have been dead either way, even if she like tried to get better. Yeah. But by the time she was like saying she's going to try to get better, it was already too late. Gotcha. And then like, even like the week before she passed, she was like drinking a lot of wine before bed, you know, just to like relax and go to sleep. Which is, you know, if you're leaving and you know it, that's fine, I guess. But it was just difficult to be around a little bit. And most I've talked about it in a while, to be honest. So
yeah, I appreciate nice. You being open and
dude, it's
and
just
bearing it, man.
It's just like you know, parents are people too, but it just kind of sucks when they're like not as good as they could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, because
and she's great. I don't mean to talk shit about her, obviously, right? But it's like, if she took care of her health, like, she could have lived longer. She could have had a better quality of life. And, like, she probably wouldn't have been so stressed out to the point that we argued majority of the time.
Yeah.
You know, there's, like, great times that we had. And she's very loving. She's Italian and Irish, but, you know, so they're going to be loving. But, like, the backlash of, like, the layer of thickness of disappointment when the disappointment came. Like, it wasn't just like, hey, you could have done better here. It was always, like, over the top, like, mobster wife anger. Gotcha. You know, like, you ever see Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Like that, not like I woke up with a gun to my face, like, who is she? But, like, the type of anger of, like, get the fuck out of my house, you know? And, like, just that, like, throwing shit and, like, going fucking batshit crazy. And, yeah, man. But even that I miss. It sucks. Yeah.
Now it's like, you just miss any form of interaction, man. Because even in those moments where you knew she was, you know, flying off the handle, that it was, people only act that way when they have a tremendous sense of, like, love in this relationship or a passion for it.
Right.
So, you know, because if she was attached and she didn't really care, then it wouldn't.
I mean, it's toxic. So I mean, it is toxic. We learn that it's toxic later on, and you can't treat people that way. Because, like, with blood, it's like, okay, I can treat them this way, and then we're going to forgive each other, we'll be fine. But with, like, people that aren't technically blood, even if they love you, like, you say some fucked up shit and act a fucked up way, they're going to remember that, and they're not going to really feel the same way about you after a while.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of learning that had to be done, and, like, fucking, you know, being a good, vicious arguer isn't the strong suit you think it is once you're out of a toxic environment.
That is
like,
true.
if you're in a toxic environment, being a vicious arguer that knows how to shut the other person down and make him cry is, like, a defense mechanism.
It is.
But when you're, like, in a healthy-ish relationship and, like, you have that ability, it's like, you don't need that ability. You can shut the fuck up and just listen. Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my ex-wife wasn't, I wouldn't say necessarily toxic to a certain degree, but there's definitely some things from her childhood that she used as coping mechanisms to survive that, you know, muddied our relationship. But, like, right now in the relationship I'm in, it's and she has the same history, except on to another level, like very, very emotionally abusive and all of that. And you know, I like to tease, you know, I like to tease her, and every now and then, like, she'll say something and I'll react the way I just normally do and be like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, babe. You know, like, oh yeah, that's fine. Hey, appreciate you for letting me know, like, this and that. And then I'll sit there for a little bit and I'll be like, actually, wait, hold on. How dare you fucking bring that up right now?
Oh, really?
And she goes, do you just, like, think of, like, the worst thing to say right now and just say it? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, unfortunately, you're not far off with what I'm used to.
Right. So and it's not funny, like, for her. She's just like, bro, you're being a piece of shit and you're triggering me. Stop it. Yeah. I did this stupid thing with Whitney the other day.
Yeah.
Did you have more to say? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Good. Shut up. No, I'm kidding. Shit. No, what I'm getting at is the other day with Whitney, she slept in her makeup. So when we woke up, she had the makeup on. And I was like, nice. I was just saying all this fucked up shit. I'm like, you're so much more pleasant to look at with makeup on. And, like, I was, like, trying to be over the line with it silly, but it got to a point where I was just, like, so insulting. And, like, not realizing, like, oh, this isn't funny. This is just really mean. Yeah. And, like, I had to apologize. And not like she made me apologize, but it was like, oh, dude, you fucked up, Mark. Go apologize now. And so I did so, and it was fine. But, like, it was funny for a minute, but then I took it for, like, 5 minutes instead of a full minute.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it wasn't fun anymore. Yeah. And she was just sad. And I was like, bro, this is like if she made fun of your stomach, because I hate my stomach. You know, and, like, she doesn't care. She's fine with it. But, like, I wish I had, like, the Tyler Durden, like, six-pack abs,
course,
right?
Same.
But, like, you know, that's not realistic unless you're at the gym every single day, doing core only, right? And so anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to say is, like, I admitted my like, boo-boo. Yeah. Admitted, like, I was a piece of shit there, my bad. Yeah. And then, like, advised, hey, I'm gonna, like, not do that again. Yeah, so, that's a good move. My bad, bro.
That's mature, man. But, like, some people would, like, again, like, her experience would be that her partner would have been like, oh, come on, suck it up, like, you know, I'm just joking, or like, you think I really mean that? And, you know, instead of just saying, hey, you know, I know I was joking, but and I don't mean any of it. But you know what, man? It was not a good feeling,
Right.
And I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
That's the maturity.
Yeah.
Do this. These stands are a little old. It's the maturity, and I think that's why I say, like, you know, you're a confident person, that you're not afraid to, you know, show your sensitive side.
Yeah.
And because people, for whatever reason, view that as like a weakness for you to show that to other people, and it's like, no, man, like that's, to me, that's a sign of somebody that's completely comfortable.
There's like power in that, right? And relatability.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing I've been realizing is like the power of communication, not just in relationships, but in everything.
Yeah.
And like miscommunications can be disastrous.
Oh,
right?
and they're so easy to. It happens all the time.
So easy. So, and that's something I've been thinking about is that, and then with vulnerability, it's like that's why emo is such a big deal. Like I consider myself more of a goth or punk person, but like back in the day, wearing eyeliner and like being emotional was like total rebellion, because it was like, if you are not like a man's man, you're just a little bitch. And that was like the idea that people had to like deal with at all times. So the act of like, okay, I'm gonna like express myself, that's like a form of rebellion within that like shut off, closed type of mindset. So yeah.
And when emo really came out, I mean, what was the counterculture was like just like, you know, pop and clubbing and expensive cars and big houses and just flamboyant lifestyle,
right?
That was just hiding the fact that everybody is fucking, you know, has no self-worth,
right?
So they're having to flaunt it this way so they can feel a certain way, versus like the emo culture was like, no, I feel like shit, and I'm gonna express that,
right?
You know, instead of hiding it. And that's why, like, you know, in this conversation, we can go anywhere you want to go with it. And sad because just with my experience of like sharing, you know, what I've been fighting through, I've just gotten closer to people. And I think, you know, people open up more with me because of that. I'm like today I had some customers at the store and they were just like, how you been, man? I was like, you really want to know? Like, yeah, we really want to know. We've been coming here for like 5-6 years with you, you know?
Like, yo, man, I got kids to feed. They're like, okay, can I get some new strings, please?
No, they were awesome, but it was just like, I was like, you really want to know that? And, you know, they shared with me, you know, what they were going through, and then I'm like, well, we're both going to make, and they're like, yeah, we're going to get through it, and this and that, and like, you're better for it, you know? It's not just bitching, it's not just complaining, it's, you know, everybody is struggling, man. And,
dude,
and the fact that we can all acknowledge that and then just be like, cool, but we're still supporting each other, and I mean, just with the divide that, you know, the nation and the world is in, but you look to your left, you look to your right. I don't care where you stand, you know, on pretty much anything. The fact is, how are you treating me, and how do I see you treat the people around you the most, and that's it.
Bless America, land that I love, stand beside her. No, I agree. I felt like that needed some type of backdrop to it. You know, the American flag behind you.
Just waving.
Yeah. I support this message. No, yeah, we're all struggling, that's for sure. And people hide it, try to bottle it up, and it's like, so I work in like an industry for loans, for like debt consolidation and shit like that. And like, so people call in and like, it's tough because like the calls are recorded and they'll be like, hey, do you think I have any chance of getting approved? And like sometimes I know for a fact they're not going to get approved, and I can't say that to them. I can't be like, all I can say is like, well, you know,
because
we'll have to tell.
It's not your call.
It's not my call, but like also if their FICO is at a certain point, most likely without a co-applicant, they're not going to get approved, right?
Gotcha.
So then there's like situations where, you know, a guy's pretty smart. And he calls in, or we're talking, and he's like, I mean, all the rates are shit right now, like everywhere. And like I can't agree with them, but I can't disagree with them. So I'm just like, well, you know, I hear what you're saying, but these calls are recorded, so I can't really agree with you here. You know, like I can't be like, no, our rates are great when they're like not.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting this like a low amount, like if you're getting under 12,000, it could be great. But other than that, it's like anything above 12,000, it's going to be maybe helpful from where you're at. Because like I don't even want to talk about it because I'll get into so many details that aren't interesting. But like,
well, I mean, they're interesting to me because I'm filing bankruptcy as we speak.
Oh shit!
Bro. Yeah.
I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, no, I had this insurmountable debt from the marriage, you know, when she took leave, and the divorce, and I immediately joined a band, and I was traveling like crazy, which is why I restricted myself with the comedy thing. That's why I haven't been to stir crazy. I literally have not been to stir crazy because even driving that far, I felt like would trigger me to just, I got to be everywhere at all times and do it all. But yeah, I have this fucking insurmountable debt. Like I'm like literally, I thought about the consolidation and like a HELOC loan, all these things, but I'm just like, that is another payment that I just cannot afford. Man. Like this fucking, the nature of the economy and the compensation, cost of living, it's just, I'm literally here.
Yeah, dude.
Like barely, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm going through
that's rough.
Through the rough of it, and on top of all my other bullshit, man. Cheers to this H2O in a back cup, man.
Cups.
So you identify with Batman the most, or you just like that character? I mean, he's just the Dark Knight.
So I do that Batman thing, as like most of us know, where it's Elvis Batman, and I just I grew up watching Batman like the rest of us, especially like as a kid born in the 80s. It's like Michael Keaton Batman is Batman.
He was my favorite.
Dude, he just is Batman if you were born in that time frame. There's no argument about it. Like,
and the Batmobile. That's the Batmobile. Right. To me, that's
exactly.
the Batmobile.
Like you might like Christian Bale as a Batman, but like Michael Keaton is the Batman that we grew up with when we were children. So
exactly.
What I like about it is the absurdity of it, and it's like if you're bored with the comedy show, you'll either love or hate the fact that Batman's coming up next. You know, like so sometimes I'll like just start with that to like wake up the audience if I'm not feeling confident about going up. So it's like if I don't want to be myself for a minute, I throw the Batman mask on, and I could just like kind of check out into this other personality. Yeah, because it's his own character, and like he's basically Johnny Bravo in a Batman mask. Like,
he is Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, he's Johnny Bravo in a Batman mask. Like he just doesn't give a shit. He's just like, woo. And so that's fun. And then my favorite superhero is actually Spawn, though.
Yeah, I loved Spawn.
Spawn's so cool.
I mean, I loved him just because of the fact that it was cool looking. Yeah. You know, that I never read the comics really, but the movie was cool when it came. It was like this super dark movie. When, I was small when it came out, so
it was demonic
cool.
and shit.
Yeah. And I was raised Catholic, so all that shit fucking hits hard with me.
I assumed as much. Yeah. Dude, the 90s were crazy towards like 97 to 99. It was like all satanic movies. Like
it really was.
Yeah, it was like Devil's Advocate and Stigmata and like End of Days with Schwarzenegger. You ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Yo, choir boy, you're a fucking choir boy." Compared to me, he's like yelling at the devil, like, "You're a fucking choir boy." Yeah,
dude, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, it's not great. It's very forgettable. It's a funny concept, but like,
I think it's nostalgic though. That's the thing. It's like that they do have us. The entertainment industry does have us with that nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like there's that one movie. What was it? Where he's like, Eraser. You remember that movie?
Eraser?
Yeah, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where he's like...
No, that's erased from my memory.
Yeah, maybe. It's another movie that wasn't that great, but he's like... There's a part where he shoots an alligator, and he's like, "Your luggage." Like, he's got his one-liners, you know? It's just like, they weren't hit as hard as they did in the 80s, you know? Yeah.
Oh, what's the other movie I used to watch? Solo? Do you remember Solo? I think that was one of the Wayans brothers.
Was it?
I think so.
He's like trying to be all tough, but he's just still got his ears like poking out.
He was like he was the buff Wayans brothers, Wayans bro, and he was kind of like part machine. I think was the whole thing.
You know, I think I remember like the movie, but I don't remember enjoying it.
Well, I mean, how much did you enjoy back in the day when you literally could not pick what was on TV? It was literally it was. Oh, these are my options.
Yeah.
I guess this is what I'm stuck with.
Yeah. Commercial breaks. Take like 5 hours to watch a movie on TV.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I kind of do miss commercials, to be honest, dude.
Yeah.
I don't ads.
Watch Tubi.
Ads now, like no, I don't care for ads, but like commercials for whatever reason, I do like the art because I like logos. I like certain things like that, and the music side of me also like appreciates a jingle, right? So I think all those kind of like meshed into like the thing. And plus, you know, watching Nickelodeon all the time, you just wanted every toy that was flash in front of you.
Yeah. Skip it.
And
skip it. Very best thing at all. There's a counter on this ball. I was like, "Hey, Mom, can I get that?" I'm like, "No, it's for girls."
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to go put on my eyeliner.
All right. Yeah.
Was your mom supportive of you wearing eyeliner?
Yeah, dude. She was like super open-minded. She'd yell at me about stuff.
Yeah?
That was like not open-minded. I remember I liked Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool to be a pimp, and she was like, "Pimps are pieces of shit.
Fuck.
They kidnap people from bus stops and get them addicted to drugs, and they're terrible people. It's not cool to be a pimp." And then like, it aged so well the fact that she didn't like Puff Daddy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like you know, I mean, she didn't even know it because like that news came out after her passing that he's like a piece of shit. But like, she like really
She
called it
knew,
on
man.
that. That's funny.
She knew. She could
knew.
read people.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time that you bring it up because pimps were in the limelight too, in like
Right.
the early 2000s.
But it was like it was cool to be calling yourself a pimp, like
Yeah.
Big Pimpin', Jay-Z, Big Pimpin'. You know,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, just
That's
like
so right.
yeah, maybe it had a different meaning, but I mean,
Yes, yes,
I mean,
yes,
sort of, but like not really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's well, the thing about I guess about the pimp lifestyle is like it's punk. It's fuck the system.
Right.
I'm gonna make my money.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have you do my fucking shit, and it's
Yeah.
very punk in the sense. But like, but when you think about like actual punk rock and all
Mm-hmm.
those, like they were very like progressive with their thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like very inclusive. So it's
yeah,
you know, there's just fine lines. That's why like stuff can like overlap. I'm sure there's a Venn diagram out there that somebody can make involving a punk rock and a pimp and something else.
yeah. I don't know if those can coincide.
Yeah, punk rock
Punk rock
with
and
the
pimps.
glamour of like
Johnny Rotten, like get back to your corner, slut.
that
Nah.
rancid pussy.
Right. No, man. Johnny Rotten supports Trump now, apparently. That's pretty weird. You know, the
Really?
lead singer of the Sex Pistols, he's like, he's not doing well. His wife passed, unfortunately. He was going to do like a Q&A tour. My brother and I were going to go to it. Where it was like a meet and greet. And like, but he just like canceled it. And, but I mean, he came out with a new album with his band Public Image Limited. It was pretty good. But that's the sad thing about music is like you can't really make a lot of money anymore.
Okay.
I think like if you're selling merch, sure,
Yeah.
good, but like you got to like tour constantly.
And even touring
Yeah.
venues are expecting a cut of merch sales.
Yeah.
And there's the 360 deals that the industry the recording companies are signing people up to, where it's like no matter what, we're getting a percentage of everything that you do.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I just saw a video that was going viral of Snoop Dogg talking about these streams, streaming and all that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like how are these artists getting millions and millions of streams, but they don't have millions of dollars to back it up, and people are paying for this stuff. Who's getting paid? Like, and it's not the creators of it, It's the people that find a way to distribute it, and it's not their own shit.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a crazy world, man.
Yeah,
The internet has plenty of upside, but a ton of downside, man, because of that.
Yeah. No, it's destroying everything. It is, man. There's no Blockbuster. There's no record stores except for like the independent ones.
Yeah.
Like going to shops is kind of like non-essential these days. Like grocery stores, yeah, but like shops, like going to go pick up a shirt, like just doesn't have that same vibe anymore.
People are like, why? I can just scroll on here, boom, and it's at my doorstep. No,
Yeah.
man, get out.
Yeah.
I'm the older I get, I'm definitely falling in love with the processes of daily life. Making a cup of coffee, not just going to fucking buy one,
Yeah.
making it, whether you're doing a pour over or a French press, or we got this new Italian thing. And also it's like doing it that way, I drink less coffee than if I make a whole pot just on like a instant, not instant, but like one of those coffee makers.
Kroger.
A Keurig, the Keurig,
yeah.
Those, we had an espresso and got rid of that. I mean, for one, those things are hella expensive. It's just so wasteful too. I mean, there's all this shit, but like just getting back to like the process, like, vinyl's taking off, and it's a process, man. It's a whole thing. You're going to listen to this album that sounds a certain way because it's on vinyl.
Yeah.
And you can't just like,
Some
Alexa,
of it's
play
kind
this.
Some of it's kind of like bullshit though.
What's
like,
that? What
Because
the-
like if you didn't record the album
that,
on reel to reel,
that's true.
right? Like so if you listen to the Doors on vinyl, there's a different sound to it compared to any other way you listen to it. Yes,
Yeah.
because it was designed for that equipment specifically,
Uh-huh.
and it's analog equipment, right? So it's analog on analog, which sounds how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And then like putting it onto CD compressed the audio, so it sounds louder, but it loses quality in that process, right? But like any new band, buying it on vinyl is cool,
Yeah.
and like sure, it sounds great, but like it doesn't sound any better than the CD
Yeah.
or the MP3 to a degree. The
Gotcha.
MP3, like you can hear it and it's good enough quality. CD is gonna be better, and then CD is like severely underrated because like there's the tracking with CD where the tracks just like fucking zoom into each additional one in the perfect timing that it's supposed to, and then with vinyl and with like streaming music, there's always that like little half-second delay between tracks that just ruins the flow that CDs have.
Gotcha.
That are like the original CD. But like no, I love vinyl. I have like 2 fucking bookshelves full of vinyl. But it is a scam if it's a new artist, in my opinion.
It's like the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, it's like buying a 4K Ultra HD thing versus streaming it. Like maybe you could see a little bit of the difference, but like
Isn't
it's
the thing
same
that like
TV.
our eyes can't really even just appreciate a certain point anyways?
Yeah. Right. So it's like sure, maybe it sounds better technically by like the standards that your like robots do, but we can't hear it.
Yeah.
So if it's old school, Beatles, like anything from the 80s, maybe some stuff from the 90s, but like past the 90s, unless it's the White Stripes, it wasn't recorded on analog. So it's like, and even the White Stripes after a while stopped recording on analog.
Yeah, but it becomes this big hassle, right, to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's heavy lifting. Dude.
Isn't this interesting for you non-audiophiles?
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Dude.
I'm interested. Remember the power that you would wield from being able to burn your own CD?
Dude, I love that shit. Making a mix CD for like a chick. Just like, yo, dude, here's a bunch of good music.
Yeah.
Or like just a friend, like them making you one, like some shit you never heard.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, oh
dude.
shit, this is great.
Yeah, when I get when my, I didn't have access to that, but my buddy did. I was like, dude, can you give me these songs? And he'd show up the next day at school and be like, here you go. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
oh.
It's like a whole process.
God.
It was cool, man. Yeah.
That's cool. But then we downloaded so many viruses through LimeWire.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally.
So many computers
I
went
crashed
to
my
waste.
mom's computer way too many times. Yeah. Just that alone, like.
And with stupid shit, dude, I was one of those kids that would also download like those Linkin Park tracks that had like South Park spliced in, and like Simpsons and like this
for no reason at all.
For no reason, dude.
It'd be like 10-second clip, and you like download it anyway. It's like, yeah, man. Yeah. Remember,
it's messy.
Used to download Dragon Ball Z like QuickTime movies.
Oh yeah,
so it'd be like 30 seconds of Dragon Ball Z,
and the files took up so much space.
Yeah, it'd be like. Be like just Vegeta going Super Saiyan, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, they haven't released this in America yet. This is so cool."
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Mark, there's a fucking virus on the computer again. Like, what are you doing?" Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Was that your favorite anime?
That's definitely the one that like had the most impact on my life.
Yeah.
Because it was like one of the first ones outside of Pokemon. Because like I think they came around. Like Dragon Ball was a little bit before Pokemon, but that's the one that got me big on martial arts. And great teacher Onizuka, GTO. You ever see that?
No.
I got a wall scroll like over there. He's the guy on the motorcycle with the girl behind him.
The cigarette, looking like a cool dude.
Dude, he's such a loser though. It's hilarious. He's like 22 years old. He's a virgin, and he's like a karate champ, ex-bike gang member, and he's just like a total pervert.
Well,
like,
yeah, dude,
but he's
blue
like
balls.
got the best heart possible, and he'll do anything for his students. And he wants to be like the best teacher in Japan. The only problem is he's like a total idiot, but he's kind of an idiot savant. So like every once in a while he'll do something really, really right, and like, but everybody's got his back, but he's got everybody else's back. And there's this one episode where they're like in I think they're in Osaka or like no, let me think here. Okinawa. They're in Okinawa, and he's getting blackmailed to like buy a bunch of sushi for his students, and then eventually he just realizes like he's not going to be able to afford this at all.
Oh shit!
So he just like starts ordering tons of it, just eating it like crazy. And they're like, "Whoa, you're ordering a lot. Like, why are you ordering so much? You can't afford this." And he's like, "Don't worry about it." And he keeps ordering it, and then eventually he's like got like a boat of sushi, and he's just like running out the door, like just like scuffing it with his hands,
going
like
down.
Just like a white trash American, just being crazy and like trying to dine and dash.
Yeah.
And like the sushi chef is like chasing him, and it's like just ridiculous. It's really funny.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you're blackmailing them, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bag it.
So you stuck the kids with the bill. Like,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
They didn't follow him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did, I think, but like that was his intention, was like to dine and dash, and then the kids had to pay for it, but like it just all went to hell. I don't remember, how that got solved.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's where a lot of comedy is, right? It's like like Seinfeld, nothing ever works out in Seinfeld. If you think about it, like if you watch Seinfeld, like nothing ever goes for the good
Yeah.
in that show.
Yeah.
Nothing really terrible happens for the most part, but it's just like, a string of events where like nothing works out the way it's supposed to, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah. I mean, that is fucking life. Dude, that's one of the reasons why before I get to that one, my buddy wouldn't, my coworker, he couldn't watch F is for Family, the Bill Burr one, because he's like, that is my family. He's like, and I get PTSD from like, he's like, that is my dad.
It's like if you work in an office long enough, you could not watch the show, or not the show, but the movie Office Space. Because it's too similar to corporate America, where you're like, oh, dude, this is like being back at work.
Dude, speaking of Office Space, Sheila has been dealing with this bullshit at work, where instead of bringing you on as a consultant, they still rely on you, but it's called a thought partner.
Oh, so they like demote you by title and then like pay you less?
Dude. Yes.
And they're like, what are you going to do? Quit?
Yeah.
Bro. In this economy? Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
There's so many fucking companies doing shit like that.
Dude,
my company does shit
disgusting.
like that where it's like, I don't even want to get into it, but they're like, they're doing some shady shit, and like I think a lot of people don't notice it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are too like,
but they're too wrapped up to getting by, right? And trying to hit their numbers.
yeah, dude. That's the thing. They get you so wrapped up you can't think about what they're doing to you.
Yeah.
Until when you think about it, you're like, oh fuck, that's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just try to like do my own thing and like fit in the bubble enough that like I don't look like I'm rebellious. But like a lot of the times I like want to open my mouth about something, and I'm like, okay, what's the issue that's going to happen, because we're in a right to work state.
Yes.
So like anything you say will be used against you in the HR office, right? Like just trying to express yourself on something you disagree with, like unless it's total bullshit, it's best to just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And dude, I was at this fucking like, they made you come into office, and it was let me kind of backtrack. I saw this movie called Kinds of Kindness, and it's the metaphor of the whole movie is like desperation for being accepted. Everyone bending over being accepted. And there's this one, Willem Dafoe plays this like boss guy that's like making this employee of his like literally murder someone, and the guy doesn't complete the murder, and he like fires him. Basically,
because of that,
even though he's known the guy like 20 years, and he even told him who to marry, and like how to live his life, how to like just all these different things. And
because if you do this, you're going to be rewarded this way at the end.
But it's like a joke on corporate America and like the need for acceptance. And then like the next day, I went into office for like a work meeting, and they're like, we're going to do a team building exercise, and what we're going to do is we're going to be in this hula hoop. And we want you guys to all hold hands.
This is real.
Well, okay. We want you guys to all hold hands and then go through this hula hoop without breaking the circle. And if you break the circle, you got to start over again. And like, I almost raised my hand, was like, because like, and they said, whoever wins gets a $25 gift card. And I was just like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm keeping my dignity in doing this simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I almost raised my hand and like said like, hey, does anybody even want to do this? Like, and there's going to be some idiots in there that are like, oh, yeah, this sounds like fun. I want to be a team player. And, like, I have no life outside of work because my fucking kids hate me and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. But whatever it may be, like, those people would, like, agree to it because they want to go up the ladder. And I kept my mouth shut, thankfully. And also, I wasn't part of the thing.
Okay.
They, like, drew the people that were, like, be part of it. And I guess they know us well enough that, like, they're not going to make us do that without us causing a scene for some of us. So they were like, okay, here's the teams. And, like, I wasn't on any team. And I was like, good. Fuck that shit. You can keep your $25 gift card. I'm not doing this stupid fucking exercise for children. And so it was a moment where I was glad I kept my mouth shut, because I almost spoke up about it, like, how dare you even request us to do this when I wasn't even going to be part of it at the end of it. But it just reminded me of that movie a lot, where it's like people just in control, making you do stupid shit that's degrading, and you being happy to do it for them because you want that acceptance so bad. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, we experienced that, full bore during the pandemic, right? Where it was like, this is how you need to be acting, and this is what you should be doing. Otherwise, you're a piece of shit.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we got different takes on that.
Yeah, we probably do.
I mean,
as I'm saying it, we probably do. But hindsight's one thing, because now it's like, oh yeah, some
people died. Yeah.
Well, yeah, people died.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the extent that they were saying it was going to be, that they panned it out for. And that's the issue that fucking arose, that they saw that, hey, if you allow people this power to say, hey, why are you doing that? You're being a piece of shit for doing, I continued working outdoors with my group of friends at a park, trying to maintain our health and getting vitamin D and all that. And then people were like, what are you guys doing out here? And it's like, maintaining our health. Right. I know that was one of the craziest aspects to me, where it was
just
like
people bothering you for trying to live.
I'm like, hey, we're choosing to be out here, we're being mindful, and I experienced the opposite thing. I was at work, I had to wear a mask. Did I like it? No. Did I like that I had to tell people, hey, you have to step out of our establishment because you're not wearing a mask? And they would throw all these fits, and I was like, aren't you guys for business rights? The business supposed to be act the way they want to? Well, this is our rule. How is it different than going to a country club and there's a dress code? A certain, are you going to go to that and be like, hey, why can't I wear this? And it's like, well, you're just not going to be part of that country club. Right. So, I mean, I saw the both sides of that aspect. Hindsight now, I mean, there's people that were in charge being quoted now that saying that the mask wasn't helpful at all. But hey, that's what we knew at the time, and that's what we were going with. And I had to keep my job, so I had to enforce a thing that I didn't really agree with. But hey, this is what needs to happen for us to continue and try to be civil and have a society. Because at the end of the day, we need to have a society where a majority of us are, moving in the same direction, and hopefully it's in a positive direction. Man. That's it.
Yeah. Ideally.
Did you ever get COVID?
Yeah, dude. You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not hilarious, but the job I was in was like insurance, but it was like fucking insurance for Medicaid and like access, right? Okay. So it was like people calling in like, hey, is this covered? And me just telling them like, no, it's not covered. Or like doctor's offices calling in like, hey, did this bill get paid yet? It's like, no, you guys are duplicate coding and you're trying to rip us off, when they weren't. But like that was basically my job. It's like bad news department all day, like telling people like, hey, we're not paying you. And they're like, why not? Like, well, we sent you the memo with the reasoning. I can read the memo to you. And they're like, what does that memo mean? I'm like, I can't explain it to you any further, because the codes would be like duplicate billing, cannot duplicate bill. And it'd be like, well, it appears that you're double billing. Like, it'd be it's in the coding. Like, so I got COVID, and this is when COVID was pretty new. So like they thought COVID was like your arm's going to fall off. Yeah. So like, don't come into the office. So I took like 3 months off of work while I looked for a new job and just used like, I don't know if it was 3 months or a whole month, but it was like over 30 days for sure. And I was sick of this company. I was tired of them. Yeah. And I got a new job and basically just took like a little staycation.
Yeah, with
like
that.
I was sick for like a week and a half, and then after the fact was fine, but kept calling out like every day. And then by the time it was like all my PTO was used up, all my sick time was used up, and they were like, are you fucking coming back or not? It was like, I mean, maybe eventually. And then I like no call, no show, and they fired me. But then that's like more money to me. So it was like, I didn't quit, but I didn't really get fired in terms of like doing a poor performance. It was just like they were overworking me to death, and it was like, yeah, dude, like,
Well, that's what I experienced, and now, which is my gripe with my work, is that I'm making less money than I was because they changed the commission structure.
Oh, that sucks.
And there's less of us.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons why they changed it, was there's less people. So people are still buying. So you're selling more because there's less people. But now there's more work because there's less people. And then they changed the commission structure. Yeah. And so companies realized how thin they could run their company and still make a profit.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, I gotta pay. I got bills to pay. I still got to do this. I still got, I got to make ends meet. So they're still riding that fucking high. So you being fucking overworked, the workload, you work everywhere, everybody everybody I know that you talk to is overworked. They're understaffed. They're micromanaged. They'll change their titles so they don't have to pay them as much. Like all this shit is in there, and there's still profits being made, but it's not coming to the people that are fucking on the front lines.
Yeah. It's I did the math of what I make my company, and because they like tell you what you're making for them.
Yeah.
Like, look how much money you made us. Isn't this great? And then I did the math, and like they could pay me my salary or my annual income rather 99 times, and I would be making the amount of money I'm earning them. So I'm getting 1% of what I'm earning them.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's like when you do the math of it, you're like, whoa, fuck this company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, really? Wow.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, like our commission is 3%. The most I can make is 4%.
Yeah.
But I don't know what your figures are.
It's not really like a percentage rate. It's like
your salary, but I don't know what.
Oh, no, I'm not
assuming
on salary. I'm pay per hour plus commission.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what numbers you're dealing. I'm dealing with instrument sales. You know, so there's a difference there.
Sure.
You probably got thousands and thousands of fucking accounts, $1,000 accounts or tens of thousands.
It's not that fancy. That's the thing too. Is like I should be a different title. Like I should go to school, get the certificate, and have that different title, which is like the work I'm basically doing.
Yeah.
But they call me a loan consultant and not like
true.
a loan agent.
Yes.
Because a loan agent requires a license and you get paid more. But a loan consultant basically does the exact same job as a loan agent.
Yeah.
It gets paid significantly less.
Yes.
And like for me, it's like I'm just lazy, I think. I'm not focused enough to like say like, damn it, just do that thing and get that done and da-da-da-da. But
well, that is the one thing that a degree shows them, is that you had the determination and the will to follow through with something, right? So it's just it's just a piece of paper. But
my fear is just them going, you're overqualified. Like you get the degree and you're like, cool, I could get a real job, and every place is like, no, we would have hired you, but you have a degree, so you're overqualified. That's the weird excuse I make for myself now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you had that experience at all, or heard someone to do that?
Tons of people have had that experience. Yeah.
So then, they're overqualified. You're basing it off on something.
But like, I have a certificate from Cornell University for the psychology of leadership, which really means nothing, but on paper it looks really good because it's from Cornell.
Yes.
So people see, it's from Cornell, and it's Cornell University online. So it was a course I took, and I got the certificate and got an A in it or whatever. But like, it just looks good on paper. Yeah. So when they see Cornell, they think I have a degree from Cornell because they're not aware it's a certificate program. Yeah. So it lets them know like, oh, this guy's intelligent.
Well, you are intelligent, my friend.
Thanks.
No.
Yeah, I got that going for me.
You are there, man. It comes through in your comedy, and I think again how you carry yourself and the conversations that we've had. Man.
Such a nice guy, this Juan character. Nice fellow. Yeah.
I'm glad you think so, Marc.
I do.
I definitely respect you.
Likewise,
my man.
Yeah.
So what got you into comedy? Like, what was the first open mic you hit, and what was the first inclination that like, hey, I think I'm a funny guy?
Okay, so my mom was like very depressed, so making her laugh was like always my goal. And I realized like early on in life, it's better to make people laugh than like anything else for the most part. And then this goth girl I was like, crushing on. She worked at Dos Gringos. Yeah, sure, yeah. She worked at Dos Gringos, and that was in Tempe. She was like, "You're funnier than," these are her words, not mine. She's like, "You're funnier than all the comics on the open mic. You should go do comedy." And she was like, "I'm sick of listening to them. You should go do comedy." And I was like, "Whatever you say." Like it was just like, "Sure, yeah, you're gonna be there. I'll go do it." And I went, and she wasn't there. But like, I had like 2 minutes of material. I think the jokes were like really, some of them were really hacky. The only one that was kind of good was a joke about a woman having an astronaut fetish,
Mm-hmm.
and then me going in full astronaut gear
Yeah.
that I got off eBay and walking into the room with anti-gravity to appease her kink.
Oh.
And I
okay.
did like an act out of like no gravity, and that got a laugh, you know. And Diva Danielle was actually there, and she was really funny even then.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my first time doing comedy, and she's like, "That was really good. You've been doing this a while?" I was like, "No, that was my first time." And she was like, "Oh, you could have fooled me," and that was like a really nice compliment.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Jill Kimmel hosted that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a dead mic. There was like nobody there most of the time, and but it was still fun most of the time too.
What do you think kills an open mic the fast? Like
There's so many things. Like, what do you mean kills it? Like, just gives it the vibe of like no.
where we're like people just there's a handful of people there on a regular basis. Instead of like I feel like most of the mics right now are pretty packed.
I mean, I run a mic that's very mild.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 12 people's a good day, right?
Okay.
I think what kills a mic is the host not bringing enough energy to it, not making it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Comics are really sensitive, so like if you say something rude about a comic after their set, they might like hate you forever for it after the set, like, so they might never show up again, you know. And that's
that does happen.
Depending on the comic, it might be a good thing, but
yes,
like for the most part, it's good to just be a good host that is welcoming to the comics, that also controls some sensibility within it all. So, I mean, sometimes just giving people the free range to say whatever they want, depending on who's speaking in the microphone, it could be good or bad for a business.
That's true.
So, like, I think it's good to, like, as the host, try to, like, bring up the energy and make it almost competitive or inspire some type of need to, like, try when you go up.
Yeah.
So, like, if a host just goes up and goes, "Hey, we're doing 5 minutes each. First person's name is Tom." There you go, Tom. And then Tom just goes up and he's, like, talking to a dry room with no energy. And then, like, you know, so it's that. And then, like, I think a lot of times people, like, set up a mic in a spot where there shouldn't be a mic.
Oh, all the time.
Or it's like, "Hey, we're going to do it in this, like, biker bar where people get stabbed. They said we can do it, and they're going to give us money." And it's like, all right, well, like, is this good for us to be practicing here? And then it's like a Raiders bar where people are just like, "Fuck you,
Not
we're
to call
trying to
people
watch
out.
the game." You know, and it's like, you know, we're just intruding on their football game at that point, right? So
It is, yeah.
yeah, so it's just like, kind of boils down to communication, right? So it's like, make it known that place has a mic for everybody. Make it like a sign or a poster there where it's like, "Hey, this is happening here." From there, as a host, try to like keep the energy up and motivate the comics to do their best in a sense by like leading by example.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, some level of respect all around to everybody is important, but while keeping it fun and friendly and funny. And then if you don't have those elements there, it's like, if you're not funny and you're not pleasant and it's all an unpleasant surprise that you're there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, you're basically like an unwelcome guest at the bar mitzvah, you know, or whatever it may be. And it's like, yeah. Does that answer your question? I don't know. It's kind of a tangent. Yeah.
No, it does. But it's also like, I guess, the expectations that both parties have, right? So say as a comic, you're coming up to this place and you're like, "Hey, man, we're going to bring you a comedy." And what do they think? Well, like, they think of like, okay, big famous comics, you know, like, "Oh yeah, that would be great." You know, people that are polished acts coming through.
Yeah.
And that is my word of advice to people starting a new mic is to have booked 4 or 5 booked sets. And then the rest you can fill open micers in between. People are just there to sign up. And that way you can guarantee a certain level of quality, funniness brought to your show. So then the place is like, okay, the place recognizes that, right?
Yeah.
But So you're coming to this venue and you're like, hey, I'm gonna bring you some comedy. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have fun. So they're thinking, on another level. They don't realize what open mic comedy might look like.
Yeah.
And then you, as this place, is like, well, they're giving us a stage. They're gonna want, then they're expecting everybody to, buy drinks and food and all that. And comics aren't
not always.
off.
I mean, a lot of them are alcoholics though, so it's like
yes,
kind of evens out. So
it does.
It's usually best for it to be like, okay, what's your deadest night? Oh, Sunday nights are dead. Okay, could I bring in this little amp and a microphone and a mic stand and have some assholes tell some stupid jokes? And they'll probably all buy a drink. Can't guarantee it, but probably. And they're like, we're not having any business in here anyway.
Exactly. It's already slow.
The best thing for an open mic is some sports goer that lost fantasy football. Because then he brings like 20 people that are like, asshole, you have to do 3 minutes of comedy, ha.
Yeah.
And then it's like, they usually stick around the whole time because the guy either goes last or they don't want to be rude and leave early. But those audiences are fucking awesome. I think they're just people that want entertainment.
Yeah.
And so like, dude, Sunday night at the Whiting Pig at my mic, that happened.
Yeah.
And like, we only had like 12 other comics, but like each one of them well received for the most part. There was maybe like a couple out of it that like weren't on their best leg or whatever. Yeah. But like, other than that, like, I was like, dude, this feels like a show. This is fucking sick. Like Rob Mabey showed up, Hector Garcia, and like,
solid.
Hannibal Collins was there.
Oh, I love Hannibal.
He's so energetic, and like a lot of other people there that were really good too. But like those three were like, those are people that get booked because they deserve to be.
Yeah.
And so having them there felt like a real show, and I was like, damn, dude, this seems like it'd be fun to do. Yeah. Like just to run a show like this.
Is that the one in Awatuki still? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because that went on hiatus for a bit, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's happening on Sundays.
Sundays, sign-ups at 6.
Okay.
6:30 to like 8:30ish usually.
Gotcha.
They close at 9, so we try to wrap it up by 8:30. And yeah, man, it's honestly hit or miss.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a Sunday, right?
It's a Sunday. It's like far away from everybody. It sounds far. Awatuki's not that far from people.
It's not.
But they think it is. They think it's like Avondale, where it's like, oh shit, that's far. And it's like, it's not. You just haven't been there. It's basically Chandler. It's the same thing as Chandler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, you got any shows lined up that we should be promoting? This will be out in about a week.
Yeah, dude. Let me check my phone real quick, and you could edit to the area.
No, we don't edit anything.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Where's your phone?
It's like all the way over there.
All right. I'm going to document this. Your headphones are on. Please don't. There it is. Uh-huh.
Edit out my legs, please.
Yes. Do you not wear shorts out in public?
Not usually, man. Maybe at the gym.
Well, you have very nice, powerful legs.
Thank you. You're good for kicking with.
How about I just edit like a woman's legs on you?
That's, CGI that shit. Let's see here. All right.
There we go. You got the agent in hand.
All right. Let's see here.
We'll get some gigs thrown your way. As Marc brings a very, very good show, man. Well-written material. You'll find him with a guitar. You'll find him with a Batman mask. And everything in between. Oh, and nunchucks.
That too. I got one coming up. Just got to figure out.
If you had a venue before, be like, hey, we didn't think you're gonna have those on you.
Yeah. Not necessarily. I did the nunchuck thing over at Bullshooters while the owner of the whole place was like sitting there.
Oh yeah.
And he did not look happy. He didn't say anything, but his like arms were pretty heavily crossed when they weren't before. And like I can understand the concern where it's like, okay, who's this white dude with nunchucks?
Why don't you put orange tips on it so he knows that they're not real weapons?
No, but they are though. They're wood. Like I use the wood ones, so it's like.
Yeah, but you put orange tips on it, then it makes it all right.
Is that the thing?
Yeah, like a airsoft gun. It's got an orange tip on it.
Maybe.
Is that the desert? What is that? The strip club?
No, it's not going to be
Desert Flame.
It's not a Desert Flame. That's
what was that I saw?
I don't know, but it's not. Santan Gardens is the name.
Are you
of it.
sure you're not?
The date's not on here though. Santan Gardens, August 21st.
August
6:30
21st.
p.m. Santan. Tickets are $10.
Nice.
2 drink minimum, but it's not too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing an improv stand up.
Heck yeah.
So stand up set and then improv as well.
Where are you guys getting the improv?
Audience participation.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Just are they shouting out? Or are they able to write stuff down?
I think they shout it out.
Okay. Is there like certain subjects that are off limits?
I don't
Do
think
you
so.
know?
I think it's adult comedy. I hate that shit. They're like, oh, it's an adult magic show, and I'm like, I don't need to see a penis and a rabbit out of a hat. Like, what is an adult magic show? I don't know. Maybe it's cool. Maybe I should check it out.
Well, one of my favorite things growing up in Yuma, Arizona,
Yikes.
or outside of Yuma, actually,
Yikes.
Was the Yuma County Fair, dude.
Oh, yeah?
And they would have a magician or a hypnotist. I would love the magic shows too, but the hypnotist show at the fucking at the Yuma County Fair was, I mean, that was the ticket in town, dude. I love that. And I had such a good time watching that as a kid that those shows, which I haven't been to one in forever, but like they definitely have a special place in my heart.
That's nice.
Yeah. Have you ever been hypnotized? Besides by your girlfriend?
Not that I remember. My mom was a hypnotist, though.
Hold on. Dude. I was literally about to ask what your favorite memory as your mom is, but hold on. She was a hypnotist.
She was, yeah. I don't think she hypnotized me, but like she was a hypnotist. She was a psychotherapist, so
yeah.
She worked with like anxiety patients and like trauma victims and EMDR, which is like light therapy.
Yeah.
And I mean, she helped a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, she's a workaholic though.
Here in Arizona is where she primarily worked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got lost in her work.
What was that?
Got lost in her work, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was good money, but also she was like addicted to helping people. And like
it's a high. I mean,
Yeah.
you help someone through some serious shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you're put on this earth for no other purpose than to help. I what greater purpose than to bring clarity, healing, and some understanding to another suffering soul?
Sure. Yeah, but it's like when you're a neglected child of a therapist, it's kind of like,
Whoa,
dude, like,
yes, like you recognize, like you know
man.
all of this, but
even like as an adult, she'd cancel plans to like go see a patient, and it'd be like, I can't really yell at her for it, but like I haven't seen her in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and then she'd be like, how come we never see each other? And I was like, yo, you. And then if you bring it up on her, like, yo, you because of you.
Yeah.
It's like then you're playing the blame game, and that's not a good spot to be in. So it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, like,
wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't always like that, but certain times it'd be like
Yes.
she'd cancel plans or she'd cut plans short to like go see a patient, and it'd be like, all right, because you can't really argue that either.
Yeah.
Especially if there wasn't a determined time frame of like how long time was going to be spent.
That's true.
But it's just, I don't know.
So it always felt cut short.
Oh yeah, I felt cut short a lot of the time. So
Yeah. Man. Well, what is one or two of your fondest memories?
Dude, just playing chess with her at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Seattle Espresso over in Tempe.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, man. I'll just sit in Seattle Espresso sometimes and like try not to cry. Just sitting in the coffee shop, like, yeah, man. And then like before I like start bawling my eyes out, I'll leave. But like, you don't want to be the awkward white guy crying in a coffee shop alone. You're just like there for like 15 minutes, and you're like, okay, time to go to the car. Just bawl my fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, she the interactions I had with her and the way you've spoken about her, man, I can tell, we all have our faults.
Yeah.
And she was still a great presence in your life.
No, she's a wonderful woman.
Yeah. Loving.
Wonderful human. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all human. We're all flawed in different ways, and we all have our blind spots, man.
For sure. Yeah. You got any shows coming up?
So I have Hits Off the Streets. Chris, he has a podcast, and he went down to Rocky Point with us.
Yeah.
He's throwing his 1-year anniversary of his podcast down at Stoned Cafe in Tucson, Arizona. There's going to be a couple of drag queens there, a couple of musical acts, some comedy. It's going to be a really good time down there. So that's going to be Sunday, August 25th. And then I don't really have anything else booked. I'll be hitting open mics, and then I'm booking two 2 shows in October. With one involves a separate bowling game. I don't know if you've heard of that yet, but I got those 2 in the works for October. I really hope our thing goes down.
I'm stoked for that.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed on that.
Yes.
Mom's the word though, but yeah, dude, you guys are gonna fucking go nuts if it happens. It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be. I'm so excited for that. So hopefully that one goes through. More information. It'll be Halloween themed, so make sure you get your costumes ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, man, I've had a couple other people hit me up about like music centered type things, with infusing comedy in that. Yeah. So we'll just kind of see where that pans out. But nothing else right now, man.
Hell yeah.
So other than that, man, tell people how they can follow you online.
mar.comedy on Instagram, and I mean I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it. I think it's the same thing. But you could Google Marc Anthony Richi, and probably find me there. But yeah, I gotta get better at promoting, that's for sure. So, that being said, it's been a pleasure being on here. Thanks a lot, Juan. I appreciate you, pal.
Thanks, man, and thanks for being raw and honest, and much love for you, bro.
Love you, bro.
All right, guys. Until next time, call your mother.
Yeah.
Adios.
Bye.